I guess part of what makes my schedule and my life unique for a lot of you guys to see and learn from is that sometimes I don't quite have control of my schedule the way you'd think I would, owning my own business. I'm about to get on a plane right now, and that's the start of this vlog, but this is my keto on the road, keto life. I'm taking this show on the road right now. I'm going to Atlanta this weekend. My grandmother, just to start it out, just straight to the point, my grandmother's recently been diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and so it's extremely important to me to go and spend some time with her this weekend. I'm going to fly out tonight, land tomorrow morning, spend Saturday with her, Sunday with her, and fly back on Sunday afternoon and be back on the grind for Monday morning. So I'm going to bring you guys along with me. I'm going to show you how I keep this keto thing going, even though it's not going to be ideal circumstances, and I hope all you can learn from it. Stay tuned. I'm in Atlanta, just landed. It's about 5:45 a.m. I'm gonna go get my rental car and get on the road. What you didn't see, because I didn't want to be an asshole, was I did eat my last meal on the plane. And what did I have? As a part of my modified ketogenic diet, I can't just obviously eat anything. However, it's not as hard as you think. The most difficult part is with keto, with modified keto, what you're giving up, which is significant carbohydrate intake. For me, one big thing that I do enjoy and I would say need to have every day is something sweet. And the way that I fulfill that craving is in my last meal. I have a Lily's sugar-free chocolate of some kind. There's a bunch of different varieties. Last night I just had the 55% dark. The big thing is they don't add any sugar, so they use stevia instead of adding sugar, and you get the flavor and the sweetness without the sugar, so you can still stay on track with your diet. Got my last meal in, no excuses. Enjoyed it, and then passed out for 4 hours. I'm actually feeling amazing, considering that I slept on a plane, but I slept really, really well, so. Oh yeah. That's where the magic happens, in the Kia. And it's got Michigan plates on an Atlanta car, the two places where I'm from. It's gonna be a good day. It's about 6:45 right now. I'm about 15 minutes away. I am going to sleep for another hour when I get there. Just make sure I'm fully refreshed for the day. Then I'm gonna shower up, hit the gym, get a shoulder workout in. Gotta figure out where I'm gonna work out too. Probably a LA Fitness close by the house. You always want your actions to line up with your desired outcomes. If you want something but you're not taking steps towards it, well then I guess you don't really want it. All right, took a little nap real quick, got a little bit more than an hour, got like an hour and a half. Took a shower, changed up, brushed my teeth, and now I'm ready to go downstairs and hang out with my aunt and uncle a little bit, drink some coffee, get my first little mini meal in that is part of my modified keto diet, and then I'm gonna go train. There's a gym, there's an LA Fitness not far from here. Today is shoulder day. I'm gonna show you real quick some of the things that I brought with me on this 36-hour trip that are gonna help me stay on track. I brought my own coffee because at this point I just straight up don't like drinking not Pachamama coffee. I feel like it aligns with my goals in terms of the way it's made, the way we import it, the people it impacts. It goes hand in hand with the life I'm trying to live, and that's why I drink it. And when a lot of you guys have asked me, why does it cost a couple bucks more than other coffees? Well, we make it in small batches. We import it in small quantities. We're a very small player in the coffee game, but we're doing everything better than companies who are 10 times, 20 times, 100 times bigger. So it's going to cost a few bucks more, but for me, it's worth it. And for many of you, I think it is as well. But that's a decision that everyone can make for themselves. I brought baggies of protein. I have more of some of the stuff that's here, but I'm just showing you one. I have bags of protein. These have 35 grams of protein in them. It's Pro Zero. And then I have little bags of Ritual. I have a post-workout shake. And then I have a couple of fat sources. truffle Marcona almonds, and then salt and vinegar almonds. Both of those don't really have sugar added to them, but they are amazing. And then I have a couple of packets of tuna in case if I need it. This says morning shake, but it's BCAAs. It's my Rocket Pop B10. And then I got some chocolate almonds, and I got some more of that jerky I was talking about. It's a little bit of a newer company, Country Archer. They have different flavors. This is the herb citrus turkey, but 20 grams of protein, 1 gram of sugar, 2 carbs, and 6 fat. So this is good for keto. This is great. You actually need to avoid super lean protein sources when you're doing keto. You don't have to avoid them if it's what you got. Of course, eat it, but it's easier to hit your fat goals if you have a protein source that includes some fat in it, because otherwise you'll have a hard time keeping your protein in check, because a lot of the fat sources like almonds or whatever nuts or nut butters come with protein as well. So you need to make sure you're getting some of your fat at least from your protein source. Now this is great for 2 reasons. Number one, the protein sources with a little bit more fat tend to taste better. For example, 90-10 ground beef tastes amazing compared to 96-4. Same thing with chicken, with like the turkey breast, like the 90-10 or 93-7 turkey breast tastes way, way better than the super dry cardboard 99-1 turkey breast. So, and it's a little bit cheaper usually, so that's another positive point. You can save money and it gets to taste better. So don't miss out on that opportunity to be more efficient with the modified ketogenic diet. Because remember, with the traditional keto diet, with the 90%, 85% fat ratio, you can't really have very much protein. So you're using a lot of oils and non-protein containing fat sources. So that's not the case here. We want to get 30% of our calories from protein or something around there depending on your training needs. So you need to get adequate protein. For me, that ends up to be close to 200 grams a day. So I need to make sure I'm getting adequate protein in each meal too. I'm gonna go downstairs and get my pre-workout meal in. So just brewed up a cup. I'm gonna put my Ritual in it, drink it, and I'm probably going to actually have a couple of these eggs as my protein and fat. These are actually real backyard eggs from a chicken that our family friend has. So these are legit free range, grass fed, worm fed, all the things fed except for GMOs and hormones eggs. Look how little they are. Probably gonna have 18 of these. Just kidding, probably like 4. But these are about half the size of a normal egg, so I'll probably have 4 of them to get myself about 10 grams of fat and 14 grams of protein. Okay, here it is, my pre-workout meal. 3 eggs, almonds. These are the little baby eggs that I showed you before, but after cracking them, I realized that the yolk is the same size, just like my aunt told me. They're the same size, they have the same amount of fat as a regular egg, so this is actually 15 grams of fat and 12 grams of protein. And then I'm using 5 more grams of fat here to hit 20 for this meal. I'm gonna eat this and go work out. Man, I'm being reminded right now how much more you get for your money in Atlanta than you do in California. If you see this house behind me right now, this house in California is unimaginable. You're talking like $4 or $5 million for this house. Here it's, you know, still expensive, but it's more affordable because the land is less expensive. But the quality of life here in Atlanta is phenomenal. I love this place, I truly do. I mean, if you could see what I'm seeing. Look at this yard. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. I'm leaving my family's house here, my aunt's house. I'm gonna go work out, and then I'm gonna go over to my grandma's house, who also lives here. So that's an amazing thing about this place too. A lot of my family lives here. I have 3 aunts and their entire families that live here. Hello, I'm back again. I have something very important to share with you. Currently right now, give you 360. I am in Atlanta, Georgia, more precisely in Alpharetta, Georgia, where I spent 4 years of my late childhood, from when I was like 12 to 16. And I'm actually, even more precisely than that, I'm in front of my old house. The house is over here behind me, and this was part of our yard. And I'm here for a special reason. I stopped, I pulled over the car and got out because I wanted to share something with you all. And that is the message I want you to take home today and think about and make sure that you're living, if you want to be, in my opinion, happy with the direction of your life. And that is, I want you to focus on not building things of this world, meaning physical structures. They will come along the way of your accomplishments, but don't focus your outcomes on them. I have an example to share with you for that. Behind me here, this entire little forest area, it's about an acre of land. It goes back a little ways. We used to play paintball here, my friends and I. And I built many different structures and forts and barricades and bunkers in this space right here so that we could play paintball on it. And we spent hours, weeks, months to get it perfect the way we wanted it, and we enjoyed it for a couple years. I'll tell you what, as we see right now behind us, they're all gone. All of those structures have been removed. And that's why I don't want you to focus your outcomes on building structures, on building things and acquiring physical manifestations of wealth. I want you to focus it instead on what really mattered out of this experience. That was the time that I spent with my friends, the lessons I learned, the hard work, the hustle, the innovation that was required for some 14-year-old kids to get the things they needed to build those bunkers and put in the work to do so. The dozens and I'll say probably even hundreds of hours of work that we put into creating it. They're all gone now. And they all will be. All the things that you acquire in your lives, all of the physical goods and material objects that you get, they'll all go away at some point. They'll outlive their usefulness. But the things that won't are the things that you learn, the relationships that you build, and the experiences that you have. Focus your outcomes on those. Make sure your life is constantly providing you those things, and you're gaining those things and not just material wealth. If you only focus on gaining material wealth, it will never be enough, and you'll always be disappointed. Focus your effort and energy on building relationships and gaining experiences and knowledge, and you'll always be satisfied and yet still hungry for more in a positive sense. You'll feel fulfilled and motivated at the same time. When you focus your pursuits on material objects, I promise you, you'll never feel fulfilled, and you'll constantly feel empty. You know, the more stuff that you acquire, the more empty you'll feel. It's the opposite with the experiences. Your heart is full, your spirit is nourished, your mind is nourished, and you're constantly wanting more, but it's from an entirely different perspective. All right, so that's a wrap on the trip. I'm back in the car. I'm headed to the airport. I'm gonna return this rental car and I'm gonna get out of here. One thing I don't miss about Atlanta is traffic. All right, so I made it through security. I'm gonna get a meal real quick before I get on the plane, and I'm gonna have Qdoba. I'm gonna get steak, cheese, and guac to keep on a salad to keep the carbs down and get the fat and protein. Okay, I got my next meal all covered. I'm heading to my gate right now. I'm gonna show you guys probably on the plane, but I want to tell you ahead of time what's in it to stay with my modified ketogenic diet. It means you have to, if you're not able to plan your meal exactly, that's never an excuse to just ditch your diet. There's gonna be too many times in your life where you're not able to eat exactly what you need to eat. And the realization you need to come to is that if you put in effort, 90% accuracy is okay when you're making the best choice possible. Where everyone messes up is when it's not optimal, they just let it all go to shit. I've even been guilty of this in the past, but with this new approach, I find it a little bit easier because there is a food group you're very much so avoiding, and that's carbohydrates. So it actually makes it easier to get protein sources, because sometimes one of the restrictions with a lower fat diet is you can't eat a lot of different protein sources because they have too much fat. But now that's not an issue with this diet, so I went to Qdoba for my meal. I got a steak bowl, or a steak salad I should say, so lettuce, fajita veggies, steak, and then I got salsa on it, cheese and guac. So that should put me pretty close to the 40 grams of protein and 40 grams or 30 grams of fat with very minimal carbohydrate that I need for this meal. I'll show it to you, but I wanted to tell you what's in it right now just in case I can't talk depending on where I am.